Originally, I was gonna wait a while before I posted a video response to the comments that came my way regarding my video about the Tim Tebow Focus on the Family and the Super Bowl ad. However, there have come my way a few comments that made me want to respond right away because apparently the message that I sent across last time didn't come across very clearly. And I want to respond to a few of the comments. First, I want to address Falcon Mom 68. And you didn't really respond to any of my major arguments. You really just responded to tiny little points that didn't really matter that regard the big issue at hand. You said that in response to me claiming that professional organizations like Nike and Reebok and Gatorade use professional athletes to sell their ads, and that it's wrong to use an athlete like Tim Tebow to sell the Focus on the Family's message. Yes, I did say that. However, your response to that was, Tim Tebow is not a professional athlete. For all intents and purposes, yes, you're correct. Tim Tebow has never played professional football. At least not yet. However, he is a high-profile athlete. People know who he is. For instance, I am not the least bit interested in college football. I am a huge football fan. I love the NFL. I watch every Sunday's game. But college football, I can't get into it for one reason or another. However, I still know who Tim Tebow is because he is an absolute tool. And he gets a lot of publicity because he is a tool. And he's a tool because he gets a lot of publicity. And it's a never-ending cycle. That's how I know who he is. That's how everyone knows who he is. So it really doesn't matter that he's a professional athlete or not. He's still high profile. People know who he is. And he's being used to sell the message. The second point that you made that I want to address is you said if I'm so concerned with how much Super Bowl ads cost, then why do I care if an organization like Focus on the Family is spreading a positive message of life and spending the money to pay for that ad? I'm not concerned about how much Super Bowl ads cost at all. On the contrary, I believe that it's genius that CBS has recognized that more Americans will watch a Super Bowl game than any other single event in a given year. And they have capitalized on that. And that's absolutely genius, and it's a great business model. So I have no concern about that whatsoever. What I am concerned about is that they were spreading a message of Pam Tebow ignored medical advice and chose to keep her baby, so you should too. And you should do that because your baby might be the next Tim Tebow. That's the problem. That's the problem I have with this message. The second person I want to respond to is Sir Tigger 35. And you're the main reason why I wanted to respond so quickly, because it's people like you who take arguments like the ones that I made and blow them completely out of proportion. Because people like you, I'm assuming that you yourself come from a Christian background, because there seems to be a correlation with people who come from a religious background and people who make absolutist arguments. For instance, your side of the argument is you should save the babies, abortion is murder, blah, 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 blah. So on the flip side of the coin, you assume that the pro-choice side of the argument is we should abort our babies, so I have a complete immoral, I have a problem with morality kind of argument, which is not where I'm coming from at all. And it really just makes you look like an absolutist jackass. Because that's really what you are, because the things that you said in your comment to me have nothing to do with anything that I said at all. First, you said that Planned Parenthood wanted to get this ad pulled off of the air because they make too much money off of abortions, and an ad like this will decrease their profits because it will make people not want to get abortions anymore. That's wrong on so many levels because one, Planned Parenthood had nothing to do with wanting to get this ad pulled off of the air. On the contrary, I'm going to post a video on the side here. It's a link to Planned Parenthood's video to YouTube, and to anyone else who wants to view it, giving their message in response directly to this Tim Tebow ad. And their response is essentially, we're glad that Pam Tebow made the choice that she made. And we're glad because she made that choice without government interference, as every woman has the right to do. So go ahead and check out that video, because Planned Parenthood had nothing to do with getting this ad pulled off of the air. Secondly, Planned Parenthood does not make a whole lot of profit based off of abortions. Only a small amount of people who go to Planned Parenthood actually do get abortions. As your friend the pro-life guy said, Planned Parenthood is a agency that gets federal funding. And most of that funding goes to one, counseling services for people who actually may want to get an abortion or think about getting an abortion or maybe not, which is a point I'll bring up again later. Two, their money goes to largely to education. They educate young people and all people about the risks of being sexually active. You could get pregnant, you could get STDs. This is what can happen. Third, their money goes to contraception. They say that, hey, we give you this education, you know the risk, but if you still want to engage in sexual activity, as most humans want to, here are some condoms, some contraceptive devices that prevent pregnancy and can help prevent against STDs. They have a big bowl. They give them out for free to anyone who wants them. 4, a lot of the money goes to STD and HIV testing because they give you the education, they give you the contraceptives, and for people who are sexually active, it's responsible to get tested. Sure, it's not always free, but they offer their testings at not discounted prices, but cheaper prices usually than most medical organizations will offer them at. And lastly, a lot of the money goes to public relations because there are people like you who come up with conspiracy theories such as they make too much money based off this, based off that, they want you to carry babies. And they've got to pay public relations people to combat those conspiracy theory arguments, which are complete bullshit, if I do say so myself. You also said that it's a conflict of interest for Planned Parenthood people to be counseling women on abortions because they make so much money off of abortions. Well, it's not a conflict of interest at all because not everyone who goes to Planned Parenthood seeking counseling about abortions gets abortions. And also, people who seek counseling about abortions who decide to abort don't always get abortions from Planned Parenthood. Lots of times, their counselors and medical staff will refer you to somebody else to get your abortion. They don't make any money off of that. And what's also stupid about your argument is that a lot of people like you act as if these ads are going to completely sway someone's opinion on whether or not to get an abortion. It's as if someone's thinking, hey, I'm pregnant, I should get an abortion. Oh, but look, here's a Tim Tebow ad. Maybe I shouldn't abort. Sure, people advertise to stupid people during the Super Bowl and on TV in general. Lots of stupid people watch TV, and that's who a lot of the audience goes to, that they target. But it's pretty foolish to think that a simple commercial is going to completely sway someone's opinion. So, to make the argument that to act as if this ad is going to completely sway someone's opinion is really stupid because if you're going to watch a commercial and you decide to abort your baby based off of a commercial, then you probably shouldn't be having kids to begin with. And I'm pretty glad that the baby gets aborted, if I do say so myself. And the last thing I want to respond to is something that you responded to personally towards me. You claimed that I'm okay with half-naked ads, but I'm not okay with morality ads. Excuse me, my voice is pretty going right now. And at no point in my video and any of my arguments that I've ever said have I said anything of the sort. I'm against this ad because it's a divisive issue being thrown into an event that represents unity. Neither side, neither the pro-choice side or the pro-life side should have ads on this time in the Super Bowl. Neither side should. That's my point. And you also said that I may as well be okay with Bible burning. Well, hey, someone's got to do it, right? I don't have any problem with Bible burnings. This is a country of free speech. I've never burned any Bibles, but hey, if someone wants to do that, that's their right. So please, respond to these arguments with legitimate facts, with legitimate arguments that counteract my points. Don't put words in my mouth, and don't say things that I didn't say. And don't be a jackass. Be intelligent. Think about the issue before you make up your mind. That's being a human being. That's being a person. That's forming a legitimate opinion. That's what you should do with your life.